Okay, so this is my first unboxing video because, as most of you know already, this is a reselling channel, and so most of the things that I buy are used and they're not new, and so I rarely am unboxing anything. But I bought this Power Pressure Cooker XL at a local Goodwill, and I paid $9 for it. I got it home. It does not function perfectly. There is a defect in that particular pot, and it was used. But it did give me a good idea of how quickly it cooks and how much food it can hold, and you know, how much it could replace several appliances. And I really like the idea of that, and I like the result that I've gotten, even though I had to work with this pot to get it to actually function. So I decided I didn't want to continue to deal with kind of a subpar pot. You know, I don't want to start a fire or something like that because it seems like it's an electrical problem. I decided to go and buy a similar pot. I did not buy that exact pot, but I bought one very similar. And this one is also an As Seen on TV product. So I thought we would do an unboxing, and then when we're done, I'm going to go upstairs and make rice because I need rice for dinner. So what I purchased was this made by Power Cooker. It's a 9-in-1 digital pressure cooker. And this is supposed to replace, or supposed to be 9 items. A pressure cooker, which is one of the items that I'm trying to replace. A saucepan. I really don't need it for that. I guess I could use it for that, but I don't really think I will. A steamer, which could be interesting because I don't steam things normally, but it might open up some new avenues for my cooking. A slow cooker, which is another one of the items that I've wanted to replace because I have a pretty small kitchen and I don't want to store so many appliances. A rice cooker, which I did not have, but you know, it's something that I could use because my husband and I eat rice regularly, and I cook all kinds of rice. Regular white rice, basmati rice, jasmine rice. We like our rice, okay? A stock pot, which maybe I could use it for. A Dutch oven. I like my cast iron Dutch oven better. A canner, which is also an interesting feature, and it will also braise. So I thought that this might be an interesting item to invest in. And I paid $99 for it. I did get it at Walmart. I'm not a huge Walmart fan, but it's the place that I could get this. And I did purchase an additional $9 service agreement. And that's good for 2 years. So the other one, malfunctioning, made me put me a little bit on guard with this. So I thought I'll go ahead and buy the service agreement since it was pretty inexpensive. So opening it up, the first thing you see is the quick start guide, and essentially that is actually attached to the box. The instructions here are: put the inner pot in the unit, add the ingredients, and put the lid on, turn the valve to the closed position, and that's for the steam, the pressure. Follow your recipe for the correct cook time, and clean up. It's dishwasher safe. Now, one of the things that you should know about pots like this before you buy one is that it will not pressurize as quickly as your normal pressure cooker. This will take 15 to 18 minutes to build the pressure, but it cooks fairly quickly. And from what I understand, you don't add 15 or 18 minutes to the cook time. That is factored into the cook time for the items because they're just push button selections. So it does have a recipe book, the quick start guide, and probably some warranty information in there. And then we come to our first styrofoam pack, killing the earth one one styrofoam block at a time. Put this down because it is rather heavy, and it basically comes completely put together. There's nothing for you to do, and it's wrapped in a plastic suffocation warning bag, which is good for you guys that have kids and pets and things. Not that my pet can read, because, you know, Jackson is my cat and he cannot. Okay, so here we go. This is what the display looks like, and it does have selections for cook, low temp cook, stew, steam canning, pressure adjust, cook time, delay, keep warm, brown. There's a rice button, and then it does have a digital readout. Now, one of the things that differs from this pot, from the pot that's upstairs that I have to throw away, is it had specific buttons for specific items, like soups and stews, there was a button. Meat, there was a button. Rice, there was a button. Steaming vegetables, there was a button. I liked that it was sort of pre-programmed. This one may be as well. It might be that you put in a code or a combination of buttons to get what you need. We can see that it does have the valve close here. This is your pressure release valve, most likely. Here's the emergency. And then it clearly tells you what is locked and what is unlocked. So let's open this bad boy up. The other one did have a different handle, and I kind of liked it better. It was more of a, not a two-piece handle, but it was connected at two places. You know, like a luggage handle kind of thing that made it very easy to twist open. This one has more of a kind of a drawer pull type handle. I'm not sure if I love that as much, but that's okay. There's the inside of the pressure lid. And it says you can pull this out for cleaning. I'm not going to remove that at the moment. And then immediately I am met with what looks like a tray for the bottom of when you're braising meats or cooking meats. That's the meat tray that they can sit on. Looks like there is a measuring cup and probably a rice scoop. Power cord. And then wrapped in a separate bag is our non-stick pot. Now this is the 8 quart. This is the 8 quart version. Nice textured bottom with non-stick inside and out. That's probably gonna wear, I would say, fairly quickly. Just given the temperatures and the amount of pressure, I wouldn't be surprised. Here on the inside is your heat element, and then I'm sure that the pot has to be in. This is probably a safety switch. The pot has to be in. There has to be enough weight inside, enough food inside that pot to make that switch activate. And then nice rubber feet on the bottom, 4 of those. And this is made by Intertech. And this is the model Wall 3, which leads me to believe that they make this exclusively for Walmart. And it does have this little plastic thing on the back that says, please remove before first use. So, I'm not exactly sure if this is just some kind of safety thing, but it does look like the lid latches where I removed that, if you can see that. So overall, it looks like a decent pot. It's very similar to the one upstairs. This one might be 2 quarts bigger. I'm not sure. No, I think they're probably close to the same. But I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to make some rice. I've already cooked chicken in the other pot. It's done. It's still hot. It's wonderful. And I'm going to make some rice in this pot for my dinner. I'm making a dish called uzi. It is Middle Eastern. My chicken I cooked with, I cut up a whole chicken and threw it in there, and I put some chicken bouillon, pepper, a couple cinnamon sticks, some cardamom pods, some cumin, and I think that's it. And I let that cook until the chicken was nice and tender. There's a beautiful broth now. I'm going to drain that off, drain all of the seasonings out of it, the cinnamon sticks and the cardamom pods, and I think I put a couple bay leaves in there too. I'll drain all of that out and just use the chicken stock in here for rice. So let me get that started, and I will take you along as I do that. And my husband does not like visible onion. Do you have that kind of problem in your household where, you know, they don't want to see onion? They're okay if they taste onion. It's just something about the look of onion, the texture of onion, or whatever that kind of grosses them out. Well, that's what I've got. My husband, as long as he doesn't have to bite into pieces of onion, he's usually okay. So we're going to try and give this a smaller chop. And I'm not a professional chef by any stretch of the imagination, so my knife skills aren't that great. But boy, I sure know how to eat. I am a pro at eating. So we're going to take about half an onion right there. That's probably a medium-sized onion. And again, I'm just playing this by ear. I'm thinking, what would I like the flavors to be? And those are all really tiny cloves of garlic. So let's give those garlic cloves a little crush there. And he's a kind of a visual weirdo in that he doesn't like to see things in his food. So we're going to eliminate some of his problems. Sometimes I will run his onions through a microplane, but today we're not going to do that because I think the pressure cooker will take care of a great deal of the, I can't find my garlic press. I think the pressure cooker is going to take care of a great deal of, that's weird, of like the texture of onion. It's going to cook the crap out of it anyway. So we're just going to clean this garlic up, take a little bit of the skin off of it, because that does not taste very good. And I like to cut the little root end off. Like that. And since I don't have my garlic press, we're just going to give this a little rough chop. So, my husband's from the Middle East, if you don't know that. And we don't go back there very often. We haven't been since 2014. And so, to get those Middle Eastern type meals, he really has to, I have to either cook it or we have to go out to a Middle Eastern or Mediterranean place to do that. So we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. Just buy a good olive oil. We've been using this brand lately called Sultan. Just a little bit. Doesn't take a whole lot. And we are going to set this to brown. And it should heat up. And we will we're going to cook down our onion and garlic. And then we're also going to brown our rice. So let me get this thing heated up and I will come back to you. Okay, so my daughter called while I was cooking and I couldn't record the audio of the video. But here the rice is browning up nicely. I've added some carrots and peas, just some frozen ones to this. And then I added some of the chicken stock to the pot, just enough to cover it about an inch. And honestly, it was probably too much. I have set the valve to close, put the lid on it, and set the valve to close, and now I've pressed the rice button. And after this pot pressurizes, it only takes 10 minutes. And look at that, perfect rice. It's a little wetter than I normally like it, but it turned out just fabulous. So let's talk about browning. This is on the brown feature. I'm going to add a little chopped onion. Took it about 2 minutes to heat up. Then you press the brown button, the button that says brown, not the color brown. I added a little bit of olive oil, and it sets a 20-minute timer. I'm not sure why. But it takes about 2 minutes to heat up to the point where you can start browning. And I have added just about a half an onion chopped here. I'm going to make some fasulia this morning, which is a tomato-based bean soup, also a Middle Eastern deal. And my daughter had called me last night, and I did not get to finish narrating that video. So I thought I would show you this brown feature here. And it will brown up nicely. Got 4 cloves of garlic that I ran through the garlic press. It's a good way to efficiently, quickly kind of mince up garlic, is a garlic press. Mine is a Pampered Chef. I think it's made probably of cast aluminum or pewter. Probably cast aluminum. This is mine. This one is mine, and as you can see, you just put the garlic in there and press it through, and it comes out these holes. I think I paid about 30 bucks for that. You can find them cheaper, of course. But that one does the job nicely. I can't imagine that I won't have that garlic press for the rest of my life. Probably, because it's well made. It's not a tool I use every day, but I don't know, with this cooker I might start using it every day. This is starting to smell absolutely wonderful. Now I've taken a peeled onion and chopped it up. I'm just going to start letting this break down in the pan a little bit. Get that going. Normally I'd like to add some salt about now, but I'm using some leftover chicken broth from my dish last night, and it's a little on the salty side, so I'm going to try not to add very much. I'm just going to let this break down a little bit. Doesn't have to go too far. The pressure cooker should take care of it. I love that you can braise in this machine. You can brown in this machine. That kind of ups your game. I can brown in my regular pressure cooker, but it is aluminum and it is not non-stick. So that makes it a little more complicated. So I've got a pound of Great Northern beans that I have soaked in water for just a couple hours this morning. When I got up to get the hubby off for work, I just threw them in some water. It's probably been just over 2 hours since I did that. Let's drain those off. I like Great Northerns. I like cannellinis. Not as much of a fan of brown beans, like pintos. Don't like black beans at all. When I was a kid, we used to have pinto beans at least, I don't know, twice a week. But there were 7 kids, 2 adults, and we were dirt poor, of course. So it was a pretty inexpensive meal that my mom could make. and feed everybody. It was a very filling meal. It was a healthy meal for the most part, except for that ham hock or whatever she would put. Now this is ground cumin, and I'm just going to add a little bit. Let's say about a teaspoon. Maybe I'll go a little heavy-handed because there's a lot of beans in this pot. And you can, of course, do this according to your likes. I'm going to throw a little adobo in. I just like the way that tastes. And my husband likes the spicy things in life. So let's throw in a little bit of chili powder into these. If you do not like spicy, and I am growing accustomed to it, I've never been a real big fan. You can, of course, forego this step. So we're going to add, this is a little spoon, and I added about 1 spoon of that. If you do like spicy, you could add some red chili pepper paste. You can buy that in just about any Asian or Middle Eastern market. This is starting to smell wonderful already. So let's go ahead and add, got 1 quart of chicken broth from last night. I'm going to add about another quart of water. And who knows, let's just add a little bit more, about another pint. Just because that makes me feel good. I know that these beans are going to absorb a lot of the liquid in here. And then the last thing I'm going to need is some tomato paste. And I'm going to use this can of tomato paste. This is just from my local store brand. And it's Italian style. And this is a small can, like the 6-ounce can. This is starting to smell lovely already. And I'm just going to add this entire tin, if you're British, can if you're American. It's funny how the differences in the way we say certain things. I like that though. I like that difference. I like that diversity. I was watching Trevor Noah, and he was saying that in every place else in the world, a napkin is not called a napkin, it's called a serviette. And a napkin is actually a baby diaper. So at your next dinner party, I would suggest serving serviettes and not nappies, napkins. Again, another interesting difference as our country kind of melded together. How we changed. Okay, so I am going to now, let me shut that door, put the lid on here. I'm going to cancel the brown cycle, and it took me about 10 minutes to do all of that, to brown those onions and the garlic and all of that. So you want to take this latch right here and push it to the closed side, which that's released, that's closed. We're good. And then we're going to take this and use the stew cycle. And then it looks like it will do its own thing from here. Usually when you see this, and this was true on the other one, when you see those zeros completing themselves, the other one did not have the number on it when it was doing this. It is building the steam. So let's come back to this in 30 minutes and see what we've got. I would be surprised if these beans were cooked completely and deliciously in 30 minutes. So I cooked these for 30 minutes and then I let the steam go off by itself. So it actually gave it a little bit longer cooking time. And I love that this pot will kick over to keep things warm. This soup is still too warm to even eat. But look how lovely that looks. It's got a nice tomato broth. My husband will love this when he gets home. I am really impressed with the way that this turned out. There are occasionally a little bit of a tough bean, but really, I mean, these turned out nice and soft. So far, I'm really loving this pot. And if you are looking for a multifunctional kind of pot, I think that this one is probably a good one, and I'm going to cook with it more over the coming weeks, especially through the winter, and see how it does. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. I hope this video was helpful. I know it was long, but also subscribe, like, comment, and share. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.